Hello everyone and welcome to another live English lesson. I'm so sorry for this delay. It's due to some technical problems. So hello again. After the exam, this is the first lecture after the exam. As you remember in the previous few lectures, especially the previous one, we talked about the future simple tense, right? We read everything about the future simple tense. We read when to use the simple future tense and what is meant by the simple future tense. We said that it refers to an action that will happen later. And we checked how to form sentences using the simple future tense. We said that if we want to form an affirmative sentence using the simple future tense, we should start with the subject, and then we should have the modal verb, or if you will, the auxiliary verb will, followed by the main verb of the sentence and its root form, and then we should have a complement. We may have, a complement. This is concerning the affirmative sentence. And what about the negative sentence? We said that we can form the negative sentence by starting the sentence with a subject again, and then we should have the modal verb or the auxiliary verb will, and then we should have the negative article not, followed by the main verb of the sentence and its root form. And what else? We said that if we want to form an interrogative sentence in the simple future tense, we should start with will, which should be followed by the subject and then the main verb of the sentence in its root form, and then the complement, and then the question mark. And I told you to pay attention to the question mark, right? So this is how to form sentences in the simple future tense. We read and did many examples, and we did many exercises. So today we are going to complete the last exercise, and we will start a new topic, which is the future continuous tense. So let us get started. Okay, we did this one. We care about this one. Now, before we reread the texts about the world in 2050, I just want to ask you some questions and see if you agree on these predictions or not. Right? For those who want me to speak Arabic, I'm going to explain in Arabic. مثل ما تعرفون المحاضرات السابقة تحدثنا عن الزمن المستقبل البسيط، عرفنا على كل شيء له علاقة بهذا الزمن وكيفية استخدامه، متى نستخدم الزمن المضارع المستقبل البسيط، ودرسنا كيفية صياغة الجمل باستخدام الزمن المستقبل البسيط. هسه راح نكمل التمرين الأخير اللي قريناه ذيك المرة، راح نكمله وبعدين ننطلق إلى موضوع جديد وهو الزمن المستقبل المستمر. إذا هسه قبل ما نرجع نقرأ التمرين الأخير اللي يتعلق عن بالعالم 2050، رؤية هذول الثلاث أشخاص سامويل لي وستيفن، راح أسألكم عن هاي التوقعات وتجاوبون إما if you agree or not, and if you want to explain why it will be better. So predictions. I'm going to read the prediction and you have to tell me if you agree or disagree on it. So it said that people won't get sick anymore in the future. Do you agree or disagree? People won't get sick anymore.
Doctor, with my opinion or with opinion of the story?
according to your own opinion. أنت بنظرك أنت جاوبني بفكرتك يعني حسب
No, disagree.
اقتناعك. Okay, so Mustafa disagrees on this. What about others? I just want you to participate and speak your mind. The second prediction says that humans will obtain resources from out of the earth. Do you agree or disagree? Now, we are talking about the world in 2050. So humans will obtain resources from out of the earth. Mustafa,
Maybe. So I disagree.
so you
I
also...
I agree.
Okay, you agree. So Mustafa agrees that people will obtain resources from out of the earth. The third prediction says more people will be multilingual. What is meant by this? More people will be multilingual. What is meant by this sentence? Mustafa,
Yes, I agree.
what is meant by this sentence?
لأنه الناس راح يكونون متعددين اللغات.
Yes, that's right. So more people. أكثر يعني كثير من الناس راح يتحدثون عدة لغات. And you agree on this. Okay. The other prediction says wars will disappear. Hanan?
No, I disagree.
So you disagree. You think that we will have wars. More
Yeah.
wars, maybe?
Wars increasing.
Okay, so you say that we will have many wars. Okay, so you disagree. Now the other prediction says global warming will be one of the main world problems. What is meant by this sentence? Global warming will be one of the main world problems. Mustafa,
Yes, I agree.
what is meant by global warming?
إنه حرارة العالم راح ترتفع. وراح تكون من أهم مشكلاته.
Yes, global warming اللي هي الاحتباس الحراري يسمونه.
احتباس الحراري.
Yes, that's right. So you agree. The other one says humankind won't have any problems. And we said that humankind means ايش قلنا ذيك المحاضرة humankind ايش معناه؟
بشرية.
Yes, so humankind won't have any problems. Do you agree or disagree? Mustafa?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, he agrees. The other one says food will be a problem because of the many people on our planet. Food will be a problem. We are talking about 2050. Mustafa?
Maybe that's true. So I agree.
So I agree. And the last one, we will travel to other planets. Hanan?
I agree. Yes, I agree.
Okay, so you agree. So pay attention to all of these sentences. All of them are in the future simple tense, right? The first one, for example, is a negative sentence. The second is an affirmative. And we have another negative one before the end. So all of these sentences are in the future simple tense, right? Unfortunately, you only agree on that on those predictions that say that we will have many problems. I don't know why. That's why, because I mean, we here, since we are living here and we are experiencing all of these problems, so maybe that's why we are pessimistic and not optimistic. What is meant by pessimistic? pessimistic اللي هو متشائم أو متشائمين. optimistic اللي هو متفائلين. Okay, so let us now reread the texts again quickly. The first one, the first predictions, the first piece of writing that contains predictions of how the world will be in 2050 is presented by Samuel, who is 27 years old. He says, I think a lot of things will change in 2050. India will overtake China as the first largest economy in the world, but the country will have many problems with its demographics. The world will also have a lot of problems with the pollution and the climate changing. We will need to find other resources because there will be more than 9 billion people on Earth in 2050. We will also need to build spaceships to travel to the moon and to Mars, because we will have to take resources from these places. This is what Samuel says about the world in 2050. What does Lee say about the world in 2050? Our world won't be the same in 2050. We will improve our technology and everybody will be able to speak at least 5 languages. People will live longer and we won't have health problems because we will improve our knowledge on medicine. We will also live in peace and the different countries won't have nuclear weapons anymore. We will also have a single world government as we already have the IMF. I think 2050 will be a great year for mankind. And Stephen says, I hope that the world countries will be able to overcome the different issues in 2050. We will live in peace and we won't have any wars anymore. We will be able to explore the space and to find other habitable planets. We will perhaps find other intelligent beings on other planets in 2050. So these are the predictions presented by these 3 people. Now we're going to read these predictions on the right hand, and you should answer if this prediction is presented by Samuel, Lee, or Stephen, or maybe 2 of them or all of them. هسه بعد ما قرينا هذه النصوص راح نقرأ البريدكشنز التوقعات عن المستقبل اللي على ايد اليمين تشوفوها. راح نقراها وراح نحدد، راح اسألكم يعني هذا البريدكشن منو قالوا، وتذكرون اللي قالوا مثلا ستيفن ولا لي ولا سامويل، او ممكن 2 منهم او ممكن كلهم. So the first one says more people will be multilingual. Who presented this prediction? Mustafa?
Lee.
Yes, that's right. Lee said that more people will speak at least 5 languages because of the advanced technology at that time, which she thinks that will help people improve their lingual abilities, linguistic abilities. The second one, wars will disappear. Who said so? Hanan?
Lee, because she says we will live in peace.
Yes.
سلام فسوف تختفي الحروب.
Yes, exactly. She says that we will live in peace, right? And what about Stephen? Said that we will live in peace and we won't have any wars anymore, right? So both of Lee and Stephen think that we will live in peace and or wars will disappear. The third one, food will be a problem because of the many people on our planet. Who presented this idea, this prediction of the world? Who presented this? Food will be a problem because of the many people on our planet. Mustafa?
Samuel.
Samuel, yes, that's right. Samuel said that we will have such a problem because of the many people. The other one, humans will obtain resources from out of the earth. Who said so? Hanan?
Samuel.
Exactly. Samuel said that we may have he thinks that we will need, not have, we will need to get resources from out of the earth. And what about Stephen? Stephen thinks that we will travel to other planets. We will see. What about the other one? People will live more years than we do now. What about other students? Now, I cannot translate these predictions in Arabic because this is called reading comprehension, and you should read in English and answer in English. So people will live more years than we do now, Hanan?
Lee, because she says we will live longer.
Yes, exactly. She says that we will live longer due to the advanced technology that she thinks will help us to improve our medical knowledge. Okay. The other one, we will travel to other planets. Who says so, Mustafa?
Steven.
Yes, that's right. Stephen says that we will travel to other planets. That's right. Global warming will be one of the, it's omitted here, will be one of the biggest problems in the future in 2050. Who says so? Who said that global warming will be one of the problems in 2050? Mustafa?
I think Samuel.
Yes, exactly. Samuel. Samuel speaks about this problem because he thinks that we will be more than 9 people on Earth. So we will have big problems, especially in food and resources. People won't get sick anymore. Mustafa?
Lee.
Yes, that's right. We said that people won't get sick anymore. Something like that. Humankind won't have any problems. Humankind won't have any problems. As a matter of fact, okay, Mustafa?
Lee and Steven.
Yes, somehow, but it is Stephen who presented this idea when he says that yet he hopes that the world countries will be able to overcome the different issues. So when he says the different issues, he means that we won't have any problems, and especially when he says that we will live in peace. According to Lee, she says that we will not have health problems. So maybe you can say Lee and Stephen. The other one, we will have only one president who will rule all the world. Who presented this idea? That we will have only one president? Mustafa?
Lee.
Yes, that's right, because she says that we will have a single world government, right? Okay, so now we are done with this exercise. We have something else left here. Now we will see who is optimistic and who is pessimistic. Samuel, is he optimistic or pessimistic? What do you think, Hanan? Mustafa?
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic, yes. And what about Lee? Is she optimistic or pessimistic? Hanan?
She optimistic.
She's optimistic, yes. And what about Stephen? Mustafa?
Optimistic.
Yes, that's right. وقلنا إنه optimistic معناها متفائل و pessimistic متشائم. So, of course, Samuel is a pessimistic one. He only speaks about the problems and we will have many problems in the world, and he thinks that everything will be in a mess. That's why he is, of course, a pessimistic person. While Lee and Stephen, they are very optimistic. They think that we won't have any problems in the world in the future and everything will be all right. We will have one government and all of the issues will be solved. We will travel to other planets. We will overcome the diseases and we will have better health as a human being. So that's why they are optimistic. Now we are done with this. Let us now move to today's topic, which is the future continuous tense. So what is meant by the future continuous tense? And when to use the future continuous tense? Do you have any idea? Hanan?
زمن المستقبل المستمر.
Yes. And when to use it? Do you have any idea? Do you remember that when we talked to... Okay, Hanan?
We use the future continuous tense when we talk about an action that happened and continuous in the present.
Okay, that's right. So do you remember thank you, Hanan. Do you remember when we talked about the present continuous tense and the past continuous tense? We said that, for example, the present continuous tense, we said that we can use it to speak about an action that is happening at the moment as we speak. And we said when we were talking about the past continuous tense, we said that it refers to an action that was in progress during a specific time in the past, during a specific period of time in the past, right? Now, since we are talking about the future continuous tense, it means that we are talking about an action that will be in progress during a specific period of time in the future, right? That we are talking about something that will take place, an action that will take place and it will continue for an expected length of time, an expected period of time, right? So for those who want me to speak Arabic, تذكرون لما تحدثنا عن ال past continuous tense وال present continuous tense، ذكرنا أنه ال present continuous tense هو إيش؟ نستخدمه للتحدث عن زمن يقع أثناء لحظة الكلام، تمام؟ هذا present continuous tense خلال ذيك الفترة هو في حالة وقوع. لما تحدثنا عن ال past continuous tense ذكرنا أنه نشير به إلى قد حدث معين كان في حالة وقوع، كان في حالة استمرارية خلال فترة معلومة من الزمن بالزمن الماضي، تمام؟ هذا بالنسبة للماضي المستمر. هسه إذا احنا نتحدث عن ال future continuous tense الزمن المستقبل المستمر، لما نتحدث عن الزمن المستقبل المستمر معناها احنا نتحدث عن حدث معين، عن واقع، عن فعل معين احنا نعرف انه راح يكون، نتوقع انه راح يكون في حالة استمرارية، راح يكون في حالة حدوث خلال فترة معلومة من الزمن بالزمن المستقبل، طبعا فترة معلومة من الوقت في الزمن المستقبل، right? So when exactly to use the future continuous tense? When to use it? First, we use it to speak about actions that we know that it will be in a progress, as we said, at a stated time in the future, at an expected time in the future, and we know that it will happen at an exact time, right? It will be in a progress. Like examples, she will be cooking dinner this time next Monday. We know that we expect that she will be in a progress of in the progress of doing this action. We know that she will cook dinner at this specific time and during this specific period of time in the future. So we use the future continuous tense, right? هذا الاستخدام الأول، أنه نستخدم الزمن المستقبل المستمر للتحدث عن واقعة معينة، عن حدث نتوقع أنه راح يكون في حالة حدوث خلال فترة معينة من الزمن، خلال فترة معينة من الوقت بالزمن المستقبل، مثل ما موجود أمامكم بهاي الجملة المثال. She will be cooking dinner this time next Monday. هنا نعرف إنه هي راح تكون في حالة cooking dinner. إيش معنى cooking dinner? Cooking, what is meant by cook? What is meant by cooking dinner? حنان؟
تطبخ يعني تطبخ العشاء.
Yes, that's right. نعرف إنه هي راح تكون بعملية الطبخ خلال هاي الفترة، خلال احنا نقول this time يعني مثل التايم اللي هسه نحكي فيه، مثل في هذا الوقت، في مثل هذا الوقت next Monday. احنا نعرف انه يعني نتوقع انه خلال هاي الفترة بالزمن المستقبل راح تكون هي بحالة يعني تعمل هذا الفعل المعين، فلهذا نستخدم الزمن المستقبل المستمر. So this is the first use of the future continuous tense. The second use is that we use the future continuous tense to speak about the result of a routine. How is that? You see, here we have an example. I will be talking to Sarah in 2 hours. It means that, for example, this speaker, she lives with Sarah and she is about to go there and she will meet Sarah in 2 hours. So of course, during that time, she will be talking to her. And that's why we consider it as the result of a routine. And that's why we use the future continuous tense. الاستخدام الثاني انه نستخدم الزمن المستقبل المستمر للتحدث عن احداث افعال هي تكون نتيجة روتين معين. مثل ايش؟ يعني نستخدمها ايضا، طبعا هي بتستخدم ببدل ال present continuous tense. بما انه هسه مثلا هاي الجملة I will be talking to Sarah in 2 hours، انه انا راح اكون اتحدث لسارة خلال ساعتين. هاي المتحدثة هي تسكن مع سارة، فطبيعة الحال هي خلال ساعتين راح تكون مع سارة، ولهذا راح تكون هتتحدث معها خلال هاي الفترة. So this is the result of a routine. So the second use of the future continuous tense is to speak about actions that are the result of a routine. And it's used instead of present continuous tense in this case. The third use is that we use the future continuous tense when we ask politely for something. When we ask politely about some arrangement. If you know that someone is about to go somewhere and you know that they will do something for you, so you can if you want something from them, you can use the future continuous tense. Like example, will you be going to the kitchen? Can you bring me a glass of water? right. إذن أيضا الاستخدام الآخر إننا نستخدم الزمن المستقبل المستمر لطلب بعض الشغلات من الناس بشكل مؤدب، لأنه احنا نعرف انه راح يكونون يعني ذاهبين في مكان معين، راح يكونون يعملون فد شيء، احنا نعرف انه هي راح يعملون فد شيء معين، فاحنا نريد نطلب شيء منهم خلال هاي الفترة. فمثل ما تكون مثلا بالمطعم انت تدخل له وتعرف انه النادر راح يكون اصلا راح يروح اصلا على الكيتشن خلال فترة، فتقول له مثلا will you be going to the kitchen؟ ليش؟ لأنه أنت تريد تطلب بعد طلب معين. Can you bring me a glass of water? So if you want someone to do something for you and you want to offer them something, so you can use the future continuous tense to ask politely for some things. Okay, so these are the uses of the future continuous tense, right? Okay, so now a very important point that we can use the future continuous tense. The future continuous tense is used only with action verbs, and we cannot use it with the other type of verbs. Why? Because when we speak about action verbs, we speak about something that can happen during a specific duration of time. So what is meant by action verbs and what is the other type of verbs? Do you have any idea? هسا ذكرنا انه نستخدم هاي نقطة مهمة، انه نحن نقدر نستخدم الزمن المستقبل المستمر مع الاكشن فيربس، افعال الحركة. اشنو هي الاكشن فيربس واشنو هي الشيء المقابل لها الافعال الاخرى اللي ما نقدر نستخدمها بالزمن المستقبل المستمر. Do you have any idea? Okay, let us see. What is meant by action verbs? Action verbs we speak about حنان.
الأشياء اللي تخص الحياة اليومية،
Yes.
مثل
Okay,
الأكل،
Mustafa.
الشرب، التحرك، الذهاب.
Okay, yes, thank you, Mustafa. You should raise
حتى
your
الكذب.
hand. Yes, exactly. You should raise your hand. Hanan, you were about to say something?
Describe this word describes an actions like jump, cry, smile, break.
Yes, that's right. So action verbs are those verbs that, as it is written in front of you, they are the verbs that describe activities, that speaks about actions, real actions, like running, thinking, seeing, just like you see, jumping, eating, right? So these are the action verbs. What is the other type of verbs? It's the stative verbs. And what are the stative verbs? Stative verbs are those ones that describe states of existence, like being, seeming, knowing. هذا الفرق بين الأكشن verbs والstative verbs. action verbs هي الأفعال اللي تشير إلى يعني فعاليات معينة نعملها خلال حياتنا اليومية، مثل ما ذكر زميلكم مصطفى أو زميلتكم حنان، إنه تتطلب حركة running، أو تتطلب نشاط معين مثل thinking يعني تفكير، seeing، eating، right؟ هاي الأكشن verbs. بينما الstative verbs اللي هي تشير إلى حالات states of existence، تشير إلى وجودك، مثلا being اللي فعل be مأخوذ من إيش؟ ما معنى فعل be أصلا؟ إيش نسميه إحنا؟ فعل الكينونة، يعني يكون، right؟ مثل ما تقول I am، ممكن تقول I am، I will be being، أنا راح أكون باللغة الإنجليزية ما مقبولة. knowing تعرف معرفة ما ممكن. seeming ايش دول اصلا ليش ما نقدر نستخدمه بالذات مع المستقبل المستمر؟ ليش؟ لانه هاي الافعال غالبا ما تجي باضافة ing، ما تجي مع فعل مع زمن معين بها ing، ما ممكن، ما مقبولة. ممكن تجي في احيان معينة ولكن بشكل عام ما ممكن تجي بهذا السياق. إذن نستخدم الزمن المستقبل المستمر مع ال action verbs and not with stative verbs، وليس مع ال stative verbs. Right? So this is a very important point that you should keep it in your mind. Now, this is an example. I will be being stressed tomorrow during my science test. Is it correct? Of course not correct. This is a wrong sentence. You cannot use the verb be in the future continuous tense. You cannot say I will be being stressed. But you should say, for example, I will be stressed, right? Other sentence. Winter will be seeming like a distant memory. Wrong again. After I study, I will be knowing all the answers for the test. This is all wrong. We cannot use these verbs in the future continuous tense. What are the correct ones? I will be stressed tomorrow during my science test. Winter will seem like a distant memory. After I study, I will know all the answers for the test. So, we can use the stative verbs only in the future simple tense, right? Okay, so now we move to how to form a sentence in the future continuous tense. Now, this is the question. How to form a sentence in the future continuous tense. Hanan?
subject plus will plus be plus verb بينه يعني be plus verb بينه ing plus الcomplement والfull stop.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Hanan. So Hanan told us how to form an affirmative sentence in the future continuous tense, or the continuous future, which is we should start the affirmative sentence with the subject, of course. And after the subject, we should have the modal verb or the auxiliary verb will, and then we should have the verb be, and then we should have the main verb of the sentence in its ing form, and then the complement. And of course, if we are talking about an affirmative sentence, we should end it with a full stop. So subject, will, be, verb in ing, and then a complement, right? Examples: I will be working as an English teacher. You will be going to school. We will be cooking dinner. They will be reading a new book. We will be drinking coffee. It will be raining. إذا هسه تعلمنا كيفية صياغة جملة مثبتة باستخدام الزمن المستقبل المستمر. نبديها بطبيعة الحال بالسبجكت الفاعل، وبعدين will، وبعدين الفعل be بصيغة البي فقط بدون إضافات، وبعدين يكون عندنا الفعل الرئيسي للجملة مضافا إليه ing، وبعدين ممكن يكون عندنا تكملة الجملة أيا كانت نوع التكملة، وبعدين full stop بما أنه إحنا نتحدث عن affirmative sentences اللي هي الجمل مثبتة، وهي أمثلة. So who can give us more examples about affirmative sentences in the future continuous tense like these ones? Can you give us another example? Hanan?
I will be keeping the promise.
I will be keeping the promise. Are you sure that we can use the verb keep in the future continuous tense? can we use keep in the future continuous tense or not?
ممكن saving would be saving.
No, please. I sometimes use tricks, so you should say yeah. No, it's not a stative verb, and I can use it. So you can use the verb keep here. So you're right. Any other sentence? Any other example? So only one example presented by Hanan. So now the question is how to form a negative sentence in the continuous future or the future continuous tense. Mustafa.
Subject plus will plus not plus be plus verb with ing and complement and full stop.
Yes, that's right. So we can form a negative sentence in the future continuous tense by starting it with a subject, of course, and then we should have the modal verb will, and then the negative article not, and then verb be in its root form, and then we should have the main verb of the sentence in its ing form, and then a complement. So this is how to form a negative sentence in the future continuous tense, right? إذن هاي كيفية صياغة جملة باستخدام جملة منفية بالطبع باستخدام الزمن المستقبل المستمر subject فاعل وبعدين will وبعدين أداة النفي not وبعدين فعل be بصيغة be الروت فورم وبعدين فعل الرئيسي للجملة بصيغة ال ing وبعدها ممكن عندنا complement اللي هي تكملة الجملة. Examples: I will not be working as an English teacher. I will not be going to school. I will not be cooking dinner. They will not be reading a new book. He will not be drinking coffee. It will not be raining. So these are all examples of negative sentences and the future continuous tense. So can you give me another example of a negative sentence in the future continuous tense, Mustafa?
They won't be traveling to USA.
Yes, they won't be traveling to USA. Is the verb travel, is it a stative verb or an action verb? The verb travel, is it a stative or action verb?
I think it's action.
Yes, it's an action verb. And you are right. So this is how to form a negative sentence in the future continuous tense. Now the question is how to form an interrogative sentence in the future continuous or the future future continuous tense, the continuous future. Hanan.
will plus subject plus be plus verb in ing plus the complement, and we not forget the question mark.
Yes, that's right. So we should start the interrogative sentence, the yes/no question, in the future continuous with will, with the modal verb will, and it should be followed by the subject. And after the subject, we should have, what should we have? Verb be, that's root form, and then we should have the main verb of the sentence in its ing form, and then the complement. And as Hanan said, we should always remember to end the sentence, the interrogative sentence, with a question mark. So it's very important to remember this. So will, subject, verb be, and then the main verb of the sentence in its ing form, and then the complement. إذن هاي كيفية صياغة الجملة الاستفهامية باستخدام الزمن المستقبل المستمر. والآن احنا نتحدث عن yes no question، ما نتحدث عن ال double age question. فشون نصيغ yes no question interrogative sentence باستخدام الزمن المستقبل المستمر باتباع هاي الفورم، انه نبدي بال will modal verb، بعدين الفاعل، وبعدين be، وبعدين الفعل الرئيسي للجملة مضافا إليه ing، بعدين الكومبلمنت، وأيضا ما ننسى بالأخير علامة الاستفهام. So examples about interrogative sentences: will I be working as a teacher? Will you be going to school? Will he be cooking dinner? Can you give me more examples of interrogative sentences and future continuous tense? Can anyone give me an example of a yes no question and future continuous tense? No examples? Hanan?
Will she be drinking her coffee? Question mark.
Yes. Will she be drinking her coffee in the next few minutes? Yes, that's right. So now we are done with how to form sentences in the future continuous tense. We also read when to use the future continuous tense and what is meant by the future continuous tense. We also said that and mentioned something about the verbs, type of verbs that can be used with the future continuous tense. Now it's time to do some exercises before we end this lesson. I think that I love the most. So let us do these exercises. We start with these incomplete sentences. We should complete them using the verbs in between brackets. We should put them in the future continuous tense. For the first one, at 3 o'clock tomorrow, I work in my office. Mustafa?
I will be working in my office.
Yes. At 3 o'clock tomorrow, I will be working in my office. See, at the beginning, I presented a specific period of time. I presented a specific period of time that I expect that I will do an action during this time. That's why I'm using the future continuous tense. The second one, Hanan.
At 3 o'clock tomorrow, you will be lying on the beach. will lying lying لأن ضمن قواعد إضافة ing 3 أفعال شاذة lying dying tying.
Yes, that's right. So here the answer is at 3 o'clock tomorrow, you will be lying on the beach. And lie should be formed, I mean, we should omit the IE and add Y and then ING, right? Of course, that when you want to add an ING to a verb, you should follow the ING rules, right? So at 3 o'clock tomorrow, you will be lying on the beach. What is meant by the word lie? What is meant by this verb? Lie. L-I-E. What is meant by it? Mustafa, do you know?
It's مدد.
Yes, and at the same time, it means, it has another meaning. It has another meaning, lie.
أو كذب.
Yes, that's right. For example, if I say, don't lie to me, it means, لا تكذب علي. If I say, lying on a beach, lying on bed, means استلقي. اتمدد. Okay, the third one, Lily and Neil are on their way to California. They serve this time tomorrow. Mustafa?
They will be surfing this time tomorrow.
Yes, that's right. Lily and Neil are on their way to California. They will be surfing this time tomorrow. Right? Okay, so again, I presented a specific period of time in the future that I expect the action will happen during this time, and that's why I'm using the future continuous tense. The other one, the last one, I give a speech at my friend's wedding on Friday at 7. Hanan?
I will be giving a speech at my friend's wedding on Friday at 7. At 7.
Yeah, yes. I will be giving a speech at my friend's wedding on Friday at 7. Again, I am presenting a specific period of time in the future. We have another one. At 3 o'clock tomorrow, he wait for the train. Mustafa? You're raising your hands by mistake. So at 3 o'clock, Hanan?
He will be waiting for
Yes,
the
that's
train.
right. Yes, at 3 o'clock tomorrow, he will be waiting for the train. Now, another one, a negative one. They dance not all night. What should we do here, Mustafa?
They won't be dancing all night.
Yes, they won't be dancing all night, or they will not be dancing all night. This is a negative sentence in the future continuous tense. They will not be dancing all night. Another one. We are late. He wait not for us anymore. Hanan, what about others?
We are late. He will not be waiting for us anymore.
Yes, we are late. He will not be waiting for us anymore. That's right. The third one, she study not until midnight. Mustafa, are you raising your hand? Mustafa is not ready. Hanan?
She will not be studying until midnight.
Yes, she will not be studying until midnight. The fourth one, Jane play the piano at the performance. Now this is an interrogative sentence. So how to form an interrogative sentence? Mustafa?
Will Jane playing? Will Jane be playing the piano at the performance?
Yes, that's right. Will Jane be playing the piano at the performance? That's right. Now here we have a WH question in the future continuous tense. I'm going to do it. How to do such a sentence? Do you remember when we talked about the WH questions? We said that a WH question is formed by two ways. One of them is by using an auxiliary verb. And if we want to use an auxiliary verb, we should start the question with a question word, a WH word, and then we should have an auxiliary, right? And then you will see. So how to form this sentence? What, Mustafa?
What you will be doing tomorrow?
Not what you should say what will.
What will you be doing tomorrow evening?
Yes,
Question
that's
mark.
right. What will you be doing tomorrow evening? That's right. What will you be doing? That's right. Now, do you have another one? Yes, we have these MCQ questions. I, during rush hour, will be driving, will have a drive, will be drive. What should we use? So easy. We should use Hanan.
I will be driving.
Yes, I will be
During rush
driving
hour.
during rush hour. He will not be the bus today. Mustafa?
He will not be taking the bus today.
Yes, that's right. He will not be taking the bus today. Stay the cottage that weekend. Hanan?
They will be using the cottage that weekend.
Yes, that's right. They will be using the cottage last weekend. I go or Nigel, I don't know. Be coming to the picnic. Won't or won't not or willn't. Mustafa?
Nigel won't be coming to the picnic. The first one.
Yes, that's right. Won't. Yes, that's right. And where sleeping? Where you be sleeping? Where will you sleeping? Or where will you be sleeping? Which one, Mustafa?
Where will you be sleeping? The third one.
Where? Yes, where will you be sleeping? That's right. The last one, I don't know. Will be the news at 10 p.m. Hanan?
We will be watching the news at 10 p.m.
Yes, that's right. We'll be watching the news at 10 p.m. At noon tomorrow, I on a beach somewhere. Hanan?
At noon tomorrow, I will be relaxing on a beach somewhere.
Yes, that's right. I will be relaxing on a beach somewhere. Sorry, I can't. My daughter to work at that time. You see, all of these sentences, in all of them, we are specifying an exact period of time in the future. Mustafa?
I can't. I will be taking my daughter to work at that time.
Yes, I will be
The first
taking my
one.
daughter to work at that time. That's right. So we are done. We have this piece of writing that we should read, but unfortunately we are running out of time, so maybe I'm going to read it by myself and then we will complete it next lecture, inshallah. So I'm going to read it. Who are they? What will they be doing? What will be happening? Brad likes to fish. He fishes whenever he can. This weekend he will be fishing at the lake. It is his favorite place to fish. Mark is Brad's friend. Mark likes to fish too. He also fishes whenever he can. This weekend he will be fishing at the lake with Brad. They will be camping at the lake all weekend. Mark will be picking up Brad at 8 o'clock Friday night. Brad will be ready when Mark arrives. They will be driving all night because they get to the lake. Before they get to the lake. They are excited about the weekend. Brad and Mark both love to fish. They love to fish together. They will be fishing together for many years. Going to read it again. Brad likes to fish. He fishes whenever he can. This weekend he will be fishing at the lake. It is his favorite place to fish. Mark is Brad's friend. Mark likes to fish too. He also fishes whenever he can. This weekend He will be fishing at the lake with Brad. They will be camping at the lake all weekend. Mark will be picking up Brad at 8 o'clock Friday night. Brad will be ready when Mark arrives. They will be driving all night before they get to the lake. They are excited about the weekend. Brad and Mark both love to fish. They love to fish together. They will be fishing together for many years. So we're going to complete, inshallah, next lecture. We're going to read this text. We're going to read another text, and maybe we will talk again about the future